So let's talk about shock in the most simplest way. So what is shock? It is a condition in which tissue perfusion is inadequate to deliver oxygen and nutrients to supply vital organs. So here are the stages of shock. We have the initial stage, the compensatory stage, the progressive stage, and the refractory stage. So in the initial stage, which is the first stage of shock, we'll talk about hypoperfusion. So what happens in hypoperfusion? There is decrease in blood flow to vital organs due to severe bleeding, dehydration, or cardiac problems, which are the causes of shock. So this reduction in blood flow leads to inadequate oxygen supply to tissue. Then the next thing we'll talk about is cellular dysfunction. So what happens here is that due to decrease in oxygen nutrient supply, the cells begin to malfunction. So they switch to a backup plan, which is called anaerobic metabolism. Then the last stage is buildup of lactic acid. So lactic acid is what builds up in the cells when they are not getting enough oxygen. So this buildup can make the cells and the body feel tired and achy. For example, when you exercise a lot, your muscles start to ache due to the buildup of lactic acid. Second stage of shock is the compensatory stage. So in this stage, the body tries to compensate. So the body compensates for decrease in blood flow and oxygen delivery to vital organs. It's just the body's attempt to fix the problem. So you begin to see signs like number one, there's going to be increase in heart rate. The heart pump faster to deliver more blood and oxygen to organs. Then number two, you are going to see cool and clammy skin due to peripheral vasoconstriction. The blood vessels in the skin, in the arm and legs, they tend to narrow to redirect blood to essential organs like the heart and brain. And there's also going to be increase in respiration, of course, to bring in more oxygen and to remove carbon dioxide from the blood. So in the third stage of shock, which is the progressive stage, what happens here is that the compensatory mechanism becomes overwhelmed and it leads to further organ dysfunction. Then organs suffer hypoperfusion and there is decrease in vital sign, that is the blood pressure, the pulse, the respiration, and the temperature. Mechanism that regulate blood pressure cannot perform its function any longer, and all other organs are affected. So in the last stage of shock, which is called the refractory or irreversible stage, organ damage is severe. The patient is finding it hard to survive here, and the patient is no longer responding to treatment. Blood pressure remains low, anaerobic metabolism worsens. So this means that there is accumulation of lactic acid in the bloodstream, which contributes to a condition called metabolic acidosis. So there is multiple organ dysfunction. The kidneys, the skin, the brain, and all other organs you can think of are compromised. So here are the intervention. Number one, you want to administer IV fluids, either normal saline or lactated vinegar, to expand blood volume and impair tissue perfusion. Then you give vasoactive medication. For example, you want to give norepinephrine and you want to give dopamine. Then the last one, you give supplemented oxygen. We still have other intervention, but these are just little. So this is everything you need to know about shock.